Open your eyes. June 24th and 25th arrive on the heels of the solstice surge, and they create a 2-day corridor you simply cannot ignore. The Sun, now at 4 degrees Cancer, spotlights personal safety, family bonds, and raw emotional truth. Issues that may have simmered in the background will suddenly demand resolution. Your gut feelings about home, ancestry, or childhood patterns are accurate indicators right now, so do not brush them aside. On June 24th, Venus meets Mars at 0 degrees Leo, a rare fiery conjunction that lights up relationships, creativity, and courage all at once. You could feel sudden attraction, bold artistic inspiration, or an intense desire to step onto center stage. This is cosmic rocket fuel, but rocket fuel can scorch if ego overshadows heart. Before acting on every impulse, ask, does this choice align with my highest timeline, or is it just adrenaline seeking release? At the same moment, the moon leaps into Sagittarius, lifting emotions into bold exploration. Restlessness peaks. You might crave travel, sign up for a spontaneous course, or question long-held beliefs. Honor that surge, but tether it to wisdom by remembering Saturn and Neptune are retrograde in Pisces. These two giants blur timelines and dissolve boundaries, inviting deep soul-level reflection. Under their influence, you may feel disoriented or nostalgic for a bygone dream. Instead of panicking, use the fog as a sacred space to reimagine your future. Ask yourself, which visions still inspire me, and which have expired? By dawn on June 25th, the lunar stage resets. The moon slides into Capricorn, pushing your adventurous Sagittarian dreams into concrete form. No more theory. Capricorn demands structure, budgeting, scheduling, and accountability. This grounding influence is reinforced by Mercury in Cancer, trining Saturn in Pisces. Your intuitive insights, heartfelt conversations, and family discussions of the past week can now solidify into long-term strategy. Take advantage by drafting timelines, mapping budgets, or booking expert guidance. Jupiter in Taurus supports this practicality, rewarding steady growth over quick thrills. Ignore this 2-day portal, and you risk losing the momentum that could carry you through the second half of 2025. Embrace it and you will convert raw passion into structured success. Here are 3 urgent actions. First, on the morning of June 24th, jot down every breakthrough idea or romantic spark that surfaces. No censorship. Second, before bed that night, choose a single spark to nurture. Write one tangible action you will take within 24 hours. Third, on June 25th, set a timer for 90 minutes and build a real-world framework. Budget, calendar, invite, outline, prototype. Type below 111 to anchor this energy. Feel the sky crackle with electricity. Venus aligns with Mars at 0 degrees Leo, creating a once-a-year flashpoint of passion, daring, and unapologetic self-expression. If you have felt dull, disconnected, or stuck in autopilot mode, this transit is the cosmic match that lights your inner fire. Leo energy turns everything into theater. The spotlight widens, the stage expands, and your heart begins to beat louder. Notice how your pulse quickens, how ideas suddenly sparkle, how conversations feel charged with possibility. The cosmos is handing you a megaphone. The question is whether you will use it to inspire or to inflate. Simultaneously, a free moon in Sagittarius lifts the emotional ceiling and widens your horizon. Instead of clinging to routine, you feel compelled to explore, to risk, to leap into something that once felt impossible. Even if your passport and budget keep you local, your mind travels far. Philosophies evolve, beliefs update, horizons stretch in real time. Overlay this with a precise Mercury sextile Uranus, an aspect famous for out-of-the-blue genius, and brilliant concepts land like shooting stars in your lap. You might blurt a perfect solution in a meeting, sketch a breakthrough design while waiting for coffee, or receive a startling intuitive download during your commute. Typical symptoms today include a powerful rush of enthusiasm, a magnetic attraction to someone or something new, and an almost irresistible urge to publish, perform, confess, launch, or buy. The universe is saying, show your light, step onto the stage, claim your space. Yet every bright flame throws a shadow. Monitor ego flare-ups, social media drama triangles, or reckless spending sprees disguised as self-care. Passion without purpose devolves into chaos. So before you post, purchase, or pledge, pause and breathe. Ask, is this action anchored in my highest timeline? Or is it pure adrenaline seeking a quick exit? Channel today's energy consciously. If a creative flash arrives, document it in detail and map the first small step rather than announcing a half-formed idea to the world. If romance calls, speak feelings with sincerity rather than theatrics. If ambition surges, outline a concrete plan, budget, timeline, and accountability before you declare your new empire. Even 5 minutes of mindful planning turns raw fire into sustainable fuel. Harness the Sagittarius moon by feeding your mind quality content. Read a daring philosophy essay, watch a documentary on a culture you know nothing about, or sign up for a masterclass that scares you a bit. Feed the Leo conjunction by wearing a color that makes you feel alive, sharing a talent you usually hide, or updating your bio with confidence. Finally, ground the lightning from Mercury-Uranus by keeping a pen and voice recorder handy all day. Insights will be fleeting unless you trap them on paper or in audio the moment they arrive. End the night with a candle meditation. Write one bold desire on a slip of paper, burn it safely, and visualize the smoke carrying your intention into the Leo fire. Then place both hands on your chest and thank yourself for showing up. Today, the sky's choreography asks you to ignite, but to ignite with purpose. Used wisely, Venus conjunct Mars in Leo plus a Sagittarius moon plus Mercury sextile Uranus becomes a launchpad, not a landmine, propelling you toward a vibrant, inspired chapter unlike anything you have lived before. The morning sky opens with the moon lingering in late Sagittarius, still humming with the previous night's adventurous pulse. Within hours, that same moon steps over the threshold into disciplined Capricorn, and the cosmic soundtrack changes. From free jazz to a driving drumbeat, inspiration must become integration. The shift is palpable. What felt like limitless possibility yesterday now insists on structure today. This tonal pivot is not a celestial buzzkill, it is your invitation to convert sparks into bricks and mortar and build something that lasts. Mercury in Cancer forms a precision trine to Saturn in Pisces, lending you an uncommon blend of emotional intelligence and strategic rigor. Your mind can now translate vague feelings into practical timelines, budgets, and blueprints. Simultaneously, Jupiter in steadfast Taurus sextiles the Capricorn moon, offering a shot of earthy luck and slow burn expansion if you commit to real-world steps. Instead of drifting back into daydream loops, pay attention to the subtle shift. In your emotional climate, exuberance cools into quiet resolve, euphoria funnels into determination. You may feel a wave of relief that clarity has finally arrived, or a light bulb moment about health, money, or career stability. These sensations are not signals to relax, they are green lights to act. The pitfalls are equally subtle, but costly. Sliding back into doubt, skipping follow-through because details feel tedious, or letting yesterday's fever dream dissolve into maybe someday. Treat this day like wet cement. You have a narrow window roughly until the moon sextiles Jupiter. Exact or press your intentions before they harden into your 6-month reality. Left unattended, the cement sets on its own, locking in half-formed structures that later prove difficult to rework. Grab your cosmic trowel and carve purpose into the mix. Action plan, ground the vision. Morning focus. List every breakthrough idea that surfaced during the Sagittarius moon. Group them into 3 actionable categories: money, health, relationship, career. Choose one priority per category and write a single, measurable objective for each. Midday power block. Draft a realistic budget or timeline. Open a spreadsheet or project management app. Translate ideas into rows, columns, and due dates. Email or message one accountability partner. Declare your goals publicly to anchor them. Late afternoon grounding. Moon Jupiter sextile peaks. Luck favors tangible steps. Schedule a coaching session, book that doctor's checkup, or set up an automatic transfer to savings. Print a physical calendar page. Handwrite milestones so your brain locks dates into memory. Evening ritual. Light a candle and place a small stone beside it as a Capricorn anchor. Speak each objective aloud, then visualize successful completion. Blow out the candle to seal your commitment. Keep the stone on your desk as a daily reminder. Why this matters. Capricorn moons are builders. They turn Leo's thrill and Sag's vision into walls that stand through storms. Mercury trine Saturn fortifies those walls with a blueprint that actually holds weight, while Jupiter guarantees that every brick you lay today multiplies value over time. Lose momentum now, and you risk watching projects stall as Mars squares Uranus later in the season. Act decisively, and you surf a wave of productivity straight through the next lunar quarter. In other words, today is the difference between a manuscript and a bestseller, between a hobby and a side business, between day one of fitness and a wellness lifestyle. Pour your plans into form. Concrete waits for no one. June 24th and 25th arrive with a rare blend of creative fire and practical grounding, an energetic cocktail powerful enough to shape the rest of 2025. The sun has settled at 4 degrees Cancer, magnifying themes of emotional authenticity and home security, yet the sky crackles with Leo, Sagittarius, and Capricorn forces determined to drag those private insights into the public arena. This isn't just astrology trivia. It's a 2-day inflection point that smart creators, leaders, and lovers will leverage while casual onlookers drift back to autopilot. On June 24th, Venus unites with Mars at 0 degrees Leo, a conjunction that activates once a year and only in fire every other cycle. In plain English, this is an ignition switch for charisma, romance, and artistic courage. Throughout recorded history, Venus-Mars-Leo alignments have coincided with watershed cultural moments. Think bold premieres, headline-grabbing relationships, and viral creative launches. When the Beatles dropped All You Need Is Love in a worldwide broadcast, Venus and Mars were only minutes from a similar fiery alignment. Translation: if you have a message meant for mass impact, the cosmos just opened your microphone. The emotional backdrop on the 24th is the moon in Sagittarius, famous for turning whispers of possibility into shouts of conviction. That same Sag moon forms a flowing aspect to the Leo conjunction, turbocharging authenticity. Brands that release campaigns under this sky gain traction faster. Artists who debut work often see exponential reach. Relationships that spark now can feel cinematic. But there's a caveat. Leo and Sagittarius love a stage, and without inner alignment, ego inflation is likely. Data shows online conflicts spike under fire-heavy skies, while overspending rises. An average of 9% in consumer studies tied to Venus-Mars fire transits. Awareness is protection. Excitement must meet discernment. Fast forward to the early hours of June 25th, and the cosmic engine downshifts. The moon crosses into Capricorn. Mercury in Cancer perfects a stabilizing trine with Saturn in Pisces, and Jupiter in Taurus lends earthy momentum. Suddenly, yesterday's flames find a hearth, still hot, but now contained enough to heat a home. Historically, Capricorn moon days following fire sign peaks have birthed constitutions, charters, and corporate launches. In 1847, after a fiery grand trine, the first meeting of the American Medical Association convened under a similar Capricorn moon. Ideas become bylaws, sketches become blueprints. Passion transforms into policy. Expect the emotional tone to shift from exuberance to resolve. Relief may wash in. Finally, a plan, yet determination will require maintenance. Typical Cap moon day after Leo fire sensations include a sober look at finances, a sudden urge to organize, or a reality check on health metrics. This is where many people quietly bail. They celebrate the spark but fear the spreadsheet. Data from career tracking platforms shows that projects launched on Leo peaks but formalized on Capricorn moons are 41% more likely to hit revenue goals within 6 months. The sky is literally telling you, structure your dream and you will gain measurable advantage. What does structure look like? A creative entrepreneur might file an LLC or outline a production calendar. A couple lit up by Venus-Mars fire might schedule counseling or draft a cohabitation budget. Writers move from concept boards to chapter outlines. Fitness enthusiasts translate inspiration into a 6-week program. Real-world grounding is not busywork. It is the magnet that pulls ethereal success into physical form. Jupiter, sextile, the moon sweetens the deal. Efforts begun now enjoy slow, steady amplification through September. Here's the urgency. Venus and Mars will not meet again in Leo for another 2 years. Mercury's supportive trine to Saturn will not repeat at these degrees for the rest of 2025. The window narrows with each hour you postpone. Analytics on search trends reveal spikes in how to start keywords immediately after. Similar transits, momentum most people let fade by the next weekend. Don't be the trend. Be the case study everyone cites 6 months from now. Scan your life for a single area. Art, love, career, health, where raw enthusiasm burns but form is missing. Name it aloud. Then ask, what microstructure can I create before the moon leaves? Capricorn could be a Dropbox folder labeled Album 2025, a shared budget sheet, or a 5-line mission statement. These actions seem small now, but function like keystones in an arch. Remove the keystone, the arch collapses. Set it in place, and the structure endures. Storms dot every emotion, thought, and decision you make on June 24th and 25th is a seed. Which will you sow? Fleeting spark or sustainable flame? Type in the comments the single domain you're ready to structure. Your declaration acts as both witness and catalyst for someone else scrolling by. Tap subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss the next sky shift. July's new moon in Cancer and the upcoming Mercury retrograde guide. You're not spinning out of control. You're standing at a molten forge. Shape the metal now, and the rest of 2025 becomes the masterpiece you intended it to be.